Yes, welcome to the first live episode of Cricket with Yashaswee. And today we have Vanshaj Singh and Suvajit Da. Suvajit Da, you would have seen him in Test of Times as well, where we discussed about the simultaneous Test matches in two which England played way back in 1930. But today we discuss, we talk about a very interesting thing which is going to happen in the coming 2 days. That is the World Test Championship Finals. In the history of cricket, in 144 years of cricket, this is for the first time that there's a World Test Championship Finals, and I hope that this is going to be a brilliant broadcast. With me, we have Suvajit Da and Vanshaj. Both of them are doing very well, and I hope it's going to be a great interaction. Suvajit Da,
Yeah. Hi, Yashaswee. How are you doing? All good?
yes, all good, thank you.
Yeah. Uh, I lost your voice in between, for like 5 6 seconds. So could you just repeat your question, maybe?
Yeah, yeah. So I was hoping that everything is fine over there. Everybody is doing very well.
Yeah. Things are much better than before, and we're hoping that things will further improve. And let's hope for the best. Yeah.
All right. So Vanshaj, I hope you are also doing very well. And let's start off with the show. Is everything okay? Can you hear me?
There's a bit of a lag from your side, slightly.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Okay. No problem. Yeah. Yeah. We'll just make it better. Live streams. This will be an issue. This happens a lot of times. It's not an issue. Uh, so my first question to both of you. What does this World Test Championship final mean? This World Test Championship final. This is happening for the first time in 144 years. What does it mean for cricketers and for the cricketing fraternity?
Uh,
Suvajit, we'll start with you.
Yeah. Cool.
See, I think it's very important because we keep talking about Test cricket needs to survive, and again, I think a couple of days back, Fab du Plessis made a very interesting comment that in the next 10 years there will be so many mushrooming T20 leagues, and as a result, players
Correct.
will sadly prefer these leagues ahead of Test cricket, and for Test cricket to survive, I believe a championship of this sort was required. It gives more context to the matches that are being played.
Hmm.
And over a period of time, like what happens,
Yes.
when you play a lot of tests, a lot of times you do not remember over a period of time. And like even I mean, if you're talking about say suppose the Indian fans, I mean we are just happy following what India is doing and how India is progressing in their tests and whether we are the number one side or not, and we do not keep an eye. A lot of them do not keep an eye on the other games as well. But this is like a tournament, like a World
Correct.
Cup, where you are keenly following each and every match. You are and that's the reason like I said that it brings much more context to the test matches that are played, and I think it's a great concept, and it's
Correct.
very important for the survival of the team.
Yes, you said you made a very valid point that it's very important for the survival of the game. Vanshaj, do you also think on the same lines, or you have something else? Because a young person like you would have a different mindset altogether.
No, I completely echo Suvajit sir's points. This was required. Test cricket, having a proper championship for Test cricket was required because we all know T20 leagues were gaining momentum. They were gaining fame all around the world. Uh, Imitating the
Correct.
IPL was all the other, like be it
Yes.
Pakistan, be it Big Bash, all were trying to do that. And amongst this, a new birth of Test championship will give a new meaning to Test cricket. Test fanatics will love it. People will take Test
Correct.
cricket seriously. That's what matters. and even the young generation, like whether it be me, like a follower, or be a player, they will want to feature in those WTC matches, qualify
Yes.
for the finals, represent their country, and take Test cricket to a new
Correct.
take a new level up. So yes, I completely agree with the point, and it's going to be an exciting
Yes.
cycle of Test cricket.
Yeah, that was a very valid point made, that for a young person seeing his heroes on the television, it will make him feel that even I want to go out there and play. It's a fantastic point which you made. And this World Test Championship final, which will be played in Southampton, is between two brilliant cricket teams. It's between two teams which are proud about their nations, proud about the game they play. India, New Zealand, it's going to be very interesting game from Southampton. Let's get to Southampton now. What do you think? Will the pitch be like? Will there be carry and bounce? And then with the overcast conditions, which they are telling that the weather condition is going to be overcast and maybe a few drops of rain also. Do you think it will help the seamers, or maybe with what we have seen in the past at Southampton, a little bit of spinners towards the end of the test coming in and playing their part? Suvajit, what do you make of it?
See, uh, this gentleman, Mr. Simon Lee, who is the curator, he has made it clear that
Yes.
he's trying to prepare a surface with more pace and bounce, and good carry. But I'll be interested to see how he manages to do that, because the conditions in England, they usually do not assist such surfaces. And so, in an ideal situation, if that is the case, then I believe if a pitch is prepared in that way, definitely it will be assisting
Yes.
the fast bowlers, the pacers, uh, and also as the match progresses, maybe from the fourth day onwards, if the match heads into the fourth day, and if we see a bit of sunshine, the spinners will also come into play. And India have two quality spinners. If both Ashwin and Jadeja, if they both play, I think
Yes.
they both will. And any sort of leverage or assistance that they get from the surface, they will completely make use of it. Uh, so I think, I mean, if we go by the curator's words, and if he really manages to dish out the surface like he said, we will be up for a very good
Yes.
this match. But uh, I was just doing a bit of my research, and Simon Lee, this gentleman, arrived from Somerset to Hampshire last year in 2020. The
Yes.
West Indies series that we saw was the first test, was the first surface that he prepared. So since then, there have been three tests that have been played in
Yeah.
Southampton, and the the
Yeah.
difference is a lot between pace and spin. So the pacers, the average of the pacers is, I think, around 32 or 33, while for spinners it increases to 48. And I'm not just talking about a Dom Bess or somebody from West Indies
Yes.
like a Austin Chase performing. Somebody like Yasir Shah has also played two tests on that surface and has failed. So I would be
Yes.
interested to see, I mean,
Correct.
how the pitch turns out to be.
So what is on this one Vanshaj? Because he made out Suvajita made out some very interesting points over here, talking about how the averages of the spinners have been, be it Rashid, be it Yashaswee Shah, as well as Dom Best. So what do you think, Vanshaj? What do you make of out of this?
Okay, so like if we go by classic England conditions, so we may expect an overcast conditions, and therefore the Pacers can assist from that point. And as Simon Lees has already mentioned about there being a fair amount of carry and bounce in the pitch. So yes, bowlers like tall bowlers like Kyle Jamieson can can come into the picture and exploit these conditions and give some trouble to the Indian batsmen. And likewise, the bowlers from the Indian contingent, be it Shami, be it Ishant Sharma, they can extract some good bounce from the pitch. So we can expect a very good even contest. And we may also see if at all the pitch deteriorates. So we may see spinners into the picture. And yes, Indian contingent has quality spinners like Ashwin and Jadeja. We have also seen like it's been a long while, but in 2014, a certain Moeen Ali spun a web around the Indian batsman in this very ground. So we never know, the spinners may come into picture. Uh, so yes, this therefore concludes that we can see a very riveting contest, and fast bowlers can come into the picture and grab that advantage, and have game changing spells and take that crucial wickets.
Correct.
Yes.
You made a very interesting point about how the tall fast bowlers can just change the game, change the face of the game. Now let's get to the chances of both the teams. So personally feeling that New Zealand have already been in England. They have played two tests very well, exceedingly well in both the test matches, defeating the hosts England. Does that give New Zealand an added advantage, or will it be the Indians doing again very well in hard conditions? Suvajita, what is your take on this?
See, I think, yeah, I mean, it goes without saying that, New Zealand probably they got the best possible preparation for this big game. Because, when you play a side like England in their home conditions, and, they've been there in England for over a month now, and so this definitely gives them an added advantage. Also, New Zealand start at an advantageous
Correct. Yes.
position because the conditions in England and New Zealand are not very different. Again, the batsmen are used to playing on surfaces that have that great green tinge, and where there is a lot of movement, and even the wind factor plays a big role in New Zealand. So batting conditions in New Zealand, except for the grounds being smaller, are not very easy. And except I mean, New Zealand play with the Kookaburra, but
Yes.
now they have got used to the Duke ball. Having played these two tests and practice for this long. So yeah, New Zealand, of course, they start at a much more advantageous position. But having said so, what I feel with this Indian team, there is always a concern about how they start a series. I mean, one-off test you don't get the luxury of
Correct. Yes.
making a comeback in the next test. But if you see the last six away test series that India have played, uh, they have lost, uh, four times they have lost the first match of a series, and we've seen that
First game.
the
Yes.
Indian,
Yes.
the Indian team takes a bit of time to get adjusted to conditions, and even if it's a home test like what we saw in Chennai, the first test. After coming from Australia straight away in those conditions, England were better prepared coming from Sri Lanka, and they managed to win the first test. So that is what I'm a bit concerned about. But again, this side is not high on confidence, if you say, because I mean the Australia series has actually changed the equation, and the confidence level is so high that not just India, every opponent,
Yes.
they also they don't see India as I mean not even a side that competes well overseas anymore. I mean, given a condition, given the bench strength, I mean they can just on a given day can beat any side. So that is where I think India will also
Correct. Yes.
carry confidence. Yeah. So yeah.
So you made a very interesting point about how India have become a world beater, with the confidence which they have gained after winning in Australia. Vanshaj, do you agree to this, or do you feel something else can happen in the game, and New Zealand may be the better side coming in, or India, they are well prepared, mentally well prepared? Do you feel that India are better mentally prepared?
All right. So, if we speak logically, yes, all may agree that yes, New Zealand arrived a bit earlier. They played a test match in England against England and managed to beat them too. So yes, of course, that would increase their spirits. They would be, uh, you know, itching to get on that momentum. They have like already attained that momentum, and they'll be looking forward to display it. And the fact that in the second test against at Birmingham, they managed to win against England without their six after making six changes, without the six regular members. So that shows that yes,
Correct.
they don't
Yes.
falter much. They don't think much. They just play their own game and believe in their strengths. So that is a plus point. But having said that, if we talk about India arriving in Southampton, they have also played an intra-squad match amongst themselves, and we have seen likes of Rishabh Pant and
Correct. Yes.
Shubman Gill, scoring good. Yes, they were against their own teammates too, but that also goes a long way in bolstering their confidence. And having said that, Shubman Gill is gonna play the very first time in England, and the fact that he's getting slowly getting used to these conditions
Correct.
is a good sign. It's a good sign to come, and hopefully he displays that performance back in the D-Day too. And also to add this point, yes, we have already seen this before, that odds have been against India umpteen times. We have seen in the Australian series too, without their first choice players, be it Jadeja being injured, Shami being injured. So they
Correct.
have managed to come back from defeat like 36 all out, and come back from defeats and play a knock like that. So we know Indian team to defy all odds
Yes.
every time. So we may, if we compare, we can say 60-40 in favor of New Zealand. But I believe at the end of the day, all the matchups aside, what matters is how you perform on that day, how you go session by session, how you prepare your mental frame of mind, and you just play good frame of mind.
There's a very interesting comment by Prasham over here. As we were discussing about the two spinner strategy, he says that it was middle of the and basically the conditions at the start of the summer and the middle of the summer wouldn't be same. So Suvajit, what do you think? Does this make India should only go with one spinner and maybe a Siraj in play? Siraj also playing the finals of the World Test Championship.
See, I mean, though I would like to see Siraj play, but I wouldn't. I mean, I wouldn't be brave enough to drop either of Ashwin or Jadeja. You know, Ashwin has been your best spinner. Jadeja is among the the best outfielders that
Correct.
you can
Yes.
have. Also, add the fielding skills of Jadeja. And see why I say this, because historically, if this is your strength, if this is your strength, don't compromise on that. India were brave enough to play Jadeja and Ashwin both in Melbourne and Sydney, which is a reality, and I would like to
Correct. Yes.
play them. I agree with the point that was being made about the Moeen Ali, uh, uh, getting a purchase from the Southampton surface. That was much later, I believe. That was in the month of August or September,
Yes.
Yes.
and we are
Yes. That was in the month of August. Yes.
so, so yeah, the conditions are still expected to be a bit of damp and wet. So uh, yeah, so in that context, yes. But like sometimes what happens, if we go back to the Headingley test of 2002, I mean, on that surface where the
Yes.
ball was just batting around, moving. I mean, most batsmen did not have any idea when that Rahul Dravid played that knock of 148 along with Sanjay Bangar on that particular day.
Yes.
India actually chose to bat on
Hmm.
that surface, and India played two spinner. Both Harbhajan and Kumble played in that particular test,
And both had was
and
complete.
both of them
Yes.
got wickets. So I think you need to back your strength here, because if three fast bowlers are not good enough, I don't think so. The fourth one is gonna add more to it. And Jadeja has been as good as any frontline batsman. I think for the last 2 years he's averaging 50 plus with the bat. And in fact, if you
Yes.
see, Jadeja and Pant have done very well in the last 1.5 years or so. And rather, I'm not too much worried about India's bowling. I'm more concerned about how they tackle the moving ball, which has been their weakness
Correct.
in
Yes.
the recent times. We saw it in New Zealand, we saw it in England, and apart from Virat Kohli, I don't see any other batsman who's been really very comfortable. And so moving ball has been a worry for us. Also, opening is a very specialized job where we have two openers who have no experience
Yes.
of opening in England. So these are my worries.
Experience. Yes. Hmm. So, you made an interesting point that, Jadeja and Ashwin are best players at the moment and they are playing very well given the circumstances in Melbourne and in Australia and also in India, and they have done very well in the past few years. So, Vanshaj, what do you think? Would you go with three paces or would there be something different from your side?
All right. So since we have started talking about this WTC final, I have always mentioned and agreed to this point that since be it any final, this is of course an ICC event, WTC final. It is a great deal. If you play any final, you will want your best 11 to play. You will want your full strength 11. You will want the 11 which you know you can trust, you can bank upon, and that's why I believe yes, I will persist with Ashwin and Jadeja because what they bring to the fore is not only their bowling capabilities, but they also add batting depth to that Indian lineup after Pant, and we all have witnessed their batting capabilities to beat
Yes.
Ashwin or Jadeja. So they bring to fore many of their talents, and it can be an asset for the Indian team. And speaking about Mohammad Siraj, yes, he's still young now, and I believe he will get his dues in the future years to come. So since this is a test final, I will want the test stalwarts who have been there and done that for you to remain in the side and play that final and uh, you know have a good cricketing match. So and I completely agree with Suvajit
I,
sir that yes, you were saying something.
yeah, you continue. You continue.
All right, all right.
I'll ask my question
All
later.
right. Yeah. So I think that bowling. I have been very happy to see this point that bowling has been a very good strength for Indian team. It has been one of the main reasons that they have qualified for the finals. Their good consistent bowling, be it overseas or be at home. And the little bit of concern is the little bit of inconsistency in the top order because there have been Rohit Sharma and Shubman Gill. We have seen them tend to go out or get dismissed. And since it's gonna be a moving ball and the pitch is gonna assist the pacers like Jamie Singh. So we never know if Rohit Sharma goes on to chase that white ball and gets an outside edge. So we always have that fear. So hoping that they tick that box, and bowling already it has been a very good asset for the Indian team lately.
So yesterday, when the Indian team announced its 15 for the World Test Championship finals, we saw a captain which is not in the 15, and that was of Mayank Agarwal. Do you think it was harsh on Mayank Agarwal, or it is right on Shubman Gill's back that he's done well. You are backing him for a long time. He's with your team, so give him a chance and tell him that this is the condition, this is your stage. Do whatever you can, make it your final. What do you think of it? We'll start with Suvajit again.
So see, I mean, it's definitely harsh on Mayank Agarwal because if you see, he has not really failed in Test cricket. I mean, those couple of, I mean, you can't score runs every
Yes,
time you play. And but then that's what when you are playing for a team like India,
correct.
where you have such a strong bench strength, and with Rohit Sharma in that sort of form, and Shubman Gill making it count in Australia. Uh, uh, I mean, I think things could have been slightly different for Mayank had he performed on the final day of the Brisbane Test. Had he not got out in that
Correct.
fashion, maybe I'm not very sure, but maybe things could have been different. But I mean, now once that you have decided on Shubman Gill, you have to give him a longer rope, and there was no basis to actually
Yes.
not pick him and pick Mayank Agarwal over him with Rohit Sharma, because I think when you saw Rohit Sharma and Shubman Gill open for this open for whatever the six tests that they have opened. I mean, the Indian think tank, they think that okay, fine. I mean, let's not tinker with this composition, and let's we have tested them in six tests, so let it be one more test for the World Test Championship final, and then we will take a call. So I think it is harsh on Mayank, but when you talk about the Indian team in larger context, it's a right call because if you and like you said for Mayank Agarwal, I feel equally gutted for Prithvi Shaw as well. I mean, what does that guy need to do more? I mean, just
Yes, correct.
one failed test, and he saw himself out of the team. And again, he even did not make it to the test squad. And if you remember in 2018, when
Correct.
India A played those matches, Mayank did not get runs in the first class games, and I think Prithvi got 100 and a 50 in the two first class games that he played.
Yes. So, Vanshaj, what do you make of the snubbing of Mayank Agarwal? Just very quickly before we, go to the
Yes.
last question, very quickly, what
Yes.
do you think
Yes.
of,
Yes. Yes.
the snubbing of Mayank
Yeah.
Agarwal?
So, frankly speaking, I feel that Mayank Agarwal himself knows that Shubman Gill has been playing for the last couple of Test matches, and the only logic behind this, I feel, is that Indian team will be looking to have that factor of continuity going on. They would not like to tinker or experiment with that batting lineup.
Yes,
They would want to go on with the opening combination, and they will also the plus point here is they will go look to back Shubman Gill, and backing a young player always most of the times goes in favor of you. So I think yes, that's the factor of continuity and giving continuous chances to Shubman Gill to nurture his batting skills.
correct. Yes. Now, as we, as we end the show, the first stream of this Cricket with Yashaswee Championship special, just the final question: will it come back to India? Will the first World Test Championship will be in the hands of Virat Kohli, or will it be in the hands of the smiling assassin Kane Williamson? What do you think? We'll start with Vanshaj this time. What do you think, Vanshaj?
All right, so absolutely, I'm hoping India also ends its ICC trophy drought and finally brings a trophy into its cabinet. It would not be a less best moment because it would be a kind of a respect to the previous stalwarts we have seen, Indian stalwarts, be it Rahul Dravid, VVS Lakshman, and all the other guys. Sorry if I miss them because that has been the Indian Test cricket history for us. So it will be a great amount of respect towards them, and it would
Correct.
be a sign to come also for the younger generation in the Indian team. It would be a message for them. IPL on the other side. This Test cricket is also serious, and if you go on to perform, who knows, you may also feature in this, and you may go on to become, one of the test icons along with the limited overs format. And which player doesn't want that opportunity? Every young player will be looking forward to that. And but
Correct.
having said that, even
Correct.
New
Yes.
Zealand, would be looking to bury their wounds from the 2019 World Cup and bring home that World Cup trophy. So that
Yes.
concludes that it would be a very good riveting contest to watch out for, and both the teams are gonna put their best foot forward, and hopefully it comes back to us and Virat Kohli. And apart from the trophy, I hope Virat Kohli's century also comes in this final. Not to jinx it more.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So, Vajit, what would be your prediction for the final? Since this is a big
Yeah, I
final,
mean,
what
I
will be
would
your prediction?
honestly speaking, I would not like to predict because it's India versus New Zealand, and both the sides are very close to me. I'm like a huge, a diehard New Zealand supporter. I've always been. I've lived in the country, and I mean, it is amazing. And I think this win will mean a lot to them. 2019 World Cup, they deserve to win it.
Yes.
It did not happen again for a tiny nation with what 50 lakh people. I mean, Vanshaj will agree with me that more people travel in Mumbai local trains than the population of New Zealand. So,
True.
uh, I mean, with
True. Yes.
that sort of a and again, cricket is not the number one sport over there. It's rugby, and it will mean
Correct.
a
Yes.
lot to the
Hmm.
entire New Zealand landscape with this limited bunch of players. What Kane Williamson and the New Zealand team management have done over the past few years, I would probably say it started under Brendan McCullum. So, the World Test Championship would. Be the perfect way to end the cycle. But having said so, I mean, being a diehard India and a Virat Kohli fan, you can't see Virat Kohli not winning a ICC trophy because he keeps winning so many games, and that's the only thing that is not. And again, even Kane Williamson not winning it. So I mean, for somebody who is like a huge fan of both the sides, I'll just expect good cricket and hope the match. I'll be a spoil sport here and hope the match ends in a draw.
Correct. Yes. No, a lot of Indians, a lot of Kiwi fans, they'll be wishing that their teams win. And as cricket fanatics, as cricket romantics, we just would wish one thing, that a very good game of cricket is played at Southampton at the Hampshire Ball. I hope you and please let us know. Please write in the chat box if you liked it. It was a pleasure having both Vanshaj and Suvajit on the show. Thank you very much for joining in. We will come back soon with a new episode, new live episode. And a lot of you have been asking when the next Test of Times episode will be releasing. It will be releasing tomorrow. Sorry for the delay. Yes, sorry for the delay. And we will come back soon. Thank you for joining in. It was a pleasure. Goodbye and stay safe. Thank you.
Thank you. Cheers.